first thing I do when I get Nat a new car is to go and get Ollie, make sure that we're dressed the same, and then break down on the way to the pub. Well, a bit more cleaning up to do. But other than that, I'd say that's about ready to go for a test. Yeah, I'm pretty hopeful about that. That's what happens. That's what happens when there's too much cock.
How does this work? Right. Fuck me. I don't like technology, this is bollocks. Hello? Hi? Jesus. So, in the vegetable garden, which is a disaster, the beds are all rotten, overgrown with weeds. Well, actually, it's got trees in them, some of them. The fence is blown over. The wild raspberries have now taken over. The trees are overgrown. It's just a bit of a disaster, really. So, I think we've got 4 veg beds altogether, and a couple of little bits, little pockets. So I think I need to replace. Maybe we'll just do 2 at a time. I think we'll do 2 this year. Put some proper sleepers because I've got some nice sleepers. We need to fix the fence, need to get rid of the raspberries. We should never put them in. That was a total mistake. Never mind, because they're just going mental. I mean, they're lovely, they're really nice raspberries, but you kind of get at them because they grow that mental, and I should have put them more in like lines, you know, in strips where you can get either side of them, like, you know, sort of like a hedge, like along a fence. It's much better. Whereas I've just put them along the edge of the fence, which is not the right thing to do at all. I think also we need to sort out the asparagus bed. There's just so much to do. But I've got, what have I got tree-wise in here? Oh, look. Can you see? What is that? What is it? Oh, fuck, that's a nettle. I think that's a cherry. Yeah, some cherries, some rowan, alder and willow, and God knows what else. Oh, there's some more trees. What's that? Hawthorn? Birch. The asparagus bed has not is doing nothing, although I spy a little bit of chicken shit, so that'll be good good for the soil. The grass is not, and neither is the, what's it called, nettles and thistles. So I think in this bit of wood, I mean, we just used what we had to make these raised beds, and it's been fine until the last couple of years when it's been a disaster. But that's just weather and neglect, I guess. These things happen, but you've got to keep on top of things, and they haven't the last couple of years. Have just not kept on top of it. So this has so many berries on every year. It's fantastic, but it's getting a bit so that everything's like it's drooping on the floor and stuff. So I'll just lift it up a little bit and take it down a little prune before it starts And the pear, I mean the pear's mental, but how tall is that fucker? Must be 5 meters tall. Maybe he's not quite that tall, but pretty tall. I certainly can't get the pears off the top.
So, did it pass? No! It's Monday, and as normal, there's lots going on. Shut up, chicken. Right, yeah, sorry. Really? A chorus? Monday. Lots go. You know what happens? Should we try again? Monday. Lots going on. Natalie and Hunter are off at site Dogsford to see if they can get the harvester back in, because it's been such an appalling autumn and winter that the machine's not been running since, I think, probably the middle of October. So that's pretty exciting. I am here with the Jimny Savile, working out a little parts list. As I mentioned, it's failed, but on nothing particularly serious, but just a few things that really do need sorting. So I thought I'd get on with that, and then I need to go and do some battery maintenance, because the batteries power the house. Now, I've never really gone into massive detail about the power system of the house. I've done a little bit. I sort of stayed away from it because I think it's a bit nerdy and that most people would just get lost and wouldn't be very interested. But actually, I've had quite a lot of questions about it. So I'm going to attempt to explain how it works, because there's more and more people are getting interested in moving off grid. So I'm going to do my best for you, but I'm not very good at explaining this sort of stuff. I'm one of these people that's just like, what do you need? Okay, you need this, and I make it work. I'm not very good at explaining to other people how I've done it. I'm just good at just doing shit. I'm going to try. But whilst I was stood here working out a part system with Jimny Savile, spotted mama hen. She's called mama hen because she's had probably 3 loads of chicks. So she is the matriarch, she is the mama. Anyway, she's Natalie's favourite chicken, and she's been missing for a few days. The worry was that she'd been whacked, but I wasn't convinced, because she's pretty hardy as mama hen. So I've been sat out here, the chickens feed over there, I'd already fed them, and I'm sat here with the Jimny Savile, and I watched her come by and eat, and I thought, I did this last year with Whitey, and I tracked her down. I'll put a link somewhere. I tracked her down and found her, and I thought, right, I'm just going to do the same thing with mama hen. I'm very good at hiding in the sidelines and watching and waiting and seeing. So I followed her into the wood. I know where she is. She's sat on eggs. So we're going to keep an eye on the mama hen. In the meantime, I've got this MOT failure thing here to deal with. So emissions unable to be completed because the engine cuts out. That's because the alternator is either shot or faulty. We know it's not the battery because we bought a new battery. Hopefully it's just a corroded wire on the back of the alternator, but worst case scenario, it's a new or reconditioned alternator. Not the end of the world, but it is very important. Road wheel fixing missing near side rear. I think that's gibberish for a wheel nut. I'm sure we can conjure one of those up. Fuel cap sealing device ineffective. Off the top of my head, that sounds like a fucking rubber band around the fuel cap thing. Rear fog lamp obviously incorrectly positioned. Well, it wasn't that fucking obvious, was it? Otherwise I'd have changed it before it went in. So what's that gonna, I don't know. I'll grab the camera in a minute. We'll go and have a look and see if we can work that out. Wheel bearing has excessive play. I think that's fair. Repair as soon as possible. Lens slightly defective. So one of the lights is probably misty and a bit shitty looking. Get some wet and dry and some toothpaste, that'll be fine. Monitor and repair as necessary. Fuel pipes corroded. Yeah, I don't care about that. Alternator lights on. Yeah, so very little charging battery. So that's really not a massive fucking issue list. I have a sneaking suspicion though that the tricky one will be the wheel bearing, because I think you need a special tool because it's a fucking Suzuki. We'll have a look. Right, no, I see what he means. Yeah, that just needs polish, I think. Boring, but necessary. What was the other thing? It's very well done, the conversion on this little truck. So I'm going to take this whole cluster unit off. It looks like it's just a bolt on each side. I'll undo those, see if it drops down, hopefully, that would be good. And then look at, I don't know, probably cutting And I know what I need to do. I need to disconnect the battery, because otherwise that would be quite exciting. Right, let's start with the simple things first. Now, if I'm not mistaken, yes, and actually, my Rayman abilities, there is enough to do all the wheels and a spare. That's excellent. Spare, that's what we need. Oops. Okay, right. Yeah, I don't think there's a spare. No, there isn't. And I'm pretty sure it's not a requirement for the MOT, but it is sensible when you live in the countryside and work in the woods. You could probably get one fairly easy, marketplace or something, mount it there, maybe it's on the roof, I don't know. Right, not worry about that for the moment. Oh yeah, look at that. Right, okay. Does this fit? This is why you never throw anything away. It seems to fit. Do you fit? It does. Right, now somewhere here will be... Yes, excellent. Follow me.
Just like a pheasant, isn't she?
No, we'll just we'll move her into the little pen
No,
with
we don't want our babies, we just kill them.
I killed the cocks. Folks, I apologise for the wind. It's the next day. So yesterday I took this cluster off and I cut and spliced the wires, and it was like, okay, yeah, I think I've done everything correctly. And then I just left this piece of metal thing here. I left it hanging whilst I went into the cabin, put the ignition on, and went to check that all the lights were working. And then nothing. Car completely dead. Oh fuck. So I come back round to the cabin, and what I find is this little fuse box here. And I find this is an 80 amp master fuse. It does basically all the power for the car. And when you look carefully, now I'm going to try and zoom in for you on the thing. Some fucking pikeys just put like a bare wire across there where there should be an actual fucking fuse. So that got me thinking, no wonder the car is now completely dead. I don't think I've ruined it. I think it was probably just that popped. Now, why did it pop and why was it bare wire? So my theory is this: whoever built this initially probably put this together, created a short or a bad earth, blew the fuse under the hood, fixed the fuse temporarily with some bodge wire, got the whole thing working, and then realized that actually, because they'd fixed it with a bodge wire, which is this little fucking pikey fix in here, that meant that there wasn't the power getting from the alternator into the battery, which killed the battery, and that's where we're up to speed. I think I might have solved the problem, and with due diligence I will just replace this with a... I mean, that's really important. It's fucking 80 amps. Whoever bodged that, mate, bad crack. Well, the good news is, as you've just seen, I got the Jimny Savile into the garage, so at least it's on the cover. The bad news is it's going to be there for a while because it's properly fucked. It's not fucked to the point that it's not ever going to get fixed. It will get fixed, but the wiring loom is all shot to pieces and it's going to take quite a lot more time, and I've already thrown a shitload at it. So it's just become very low on my list of things to give a fuck about. So I came in last night and I put a Q&A thing on my Instagram, which I've done a couple of times in the past. I did a speakers night thing with Tory Boy a couple of years ago now at the Village Hall, and a bunch of the questions that we had that night came from one of these Instagram Q&As. So thank you to everybody that takes the time to do any of those things. Yeah, there's the obligatory fucking stupid questions. My particular favourite from last night was, where is the Prince? Has he gone to do his own spin-off show? No, the Prince has retired. He has other commitments and royal duties to attend to. I will see him at some point and I'll tell him that. I had lunch with him the other day and we reminisced about his time in the silver screen, but I will tell him about the question of his spin-off show. He'll like that. I'll have to tell him because he won't see it in this episode because he only watches the ones that he's in. A bunch of the questions that came in were largely about the smokehouse, homesteading. Natalie really hates that term, and now that I've heard myself say it out loud, I kind of hate it too. It's very, I don't know, it makes me think of the fucking Waltons or something. But I can't think of a better way to put it. Living, I suppose. There were questions about self-sufficiency and I don't know, this kind of thing. And the theme running throughout a bunch of them was cost of living and people wanting to be able to do more for themselves, and actually people needing to be able to do more for themselves. People are rightly worried about lots of shit at the moment. Obviously there's a fucking another war on. That is having a major consequence with shipping goods, and in particular petrol or any oil-based goods. Heating oil, gas, everything is going up, which is freaking people out. Consequently, they're going to be spending more time at home. They're looking for things to do, and again, for ways to save money. So I'm going to try and pick up on some of that and show you a few things that we do. We are very lucky that we live where we live, which means we've got access to meat and fish and all the, I mean, if you live in Northumberland and you go in hungry, you're just fucking not paying attention. You're really not doing it right. I've also probably included somewhere in the edit before this a bit about our garden, which used to be, and I'm going to find some footage and put it somewhere, of how the garden used to be. We used to grow a lot of our own fruit and veg. Not everything, because you have to be realistic, it's North Northumberland and we live by the coast. There's some stuff that you just can't fucking grow, but there's a lot that you can. And the plan is to resurrect that garden this year because we've really missed it. And Natalie in particular, is like, she loves her garden. It's really good.
Having a garden for me is really important. I've always loved gardening, but unfortunately, since we built the house, we've just had a field basically, so it's taken us a long time to get the garden sorted. And we finally got a vegetable area and I really love it. I find it's so good for my head. Any outdoor activity is good for your mental health, and gardening is just awesome. Growing vegetables and pottering around in the sun, digging, any kind of physical work, I love it.
It's really good for our head. So we're going to get that sorted, and we're going to take you with us on that and show you, because even if you live in a fucking high-rise tenement building in the middle of Glasgow, you can still grow something in a fucking window box, right? So there'll be something in this for you. Natalie and I are both those sort of nightmare dinner guests, really, I suppose. Processed foods and things like the convenience foods as they were are not really our thing at all. Each to their own. Some people eat to their budgetary allowances, some people eat to their dietary requirements, some people eat through just general lack of knowledge of how to buy ingredients and how to prepare them and make meals. I don't profess to be an expert on any of those things, but I don't know, we're old enough and long enough in the tooth that we just do things our way. Both of us enjoy cooking. We're both pretty good cooks, I think. We don't do enough of it because we work pretty hard and we tend to finish work and go to the pub. Pub's another interesting one. You know, we love our local. It's like another home to us. And the people there are like another family to us. So, you know, it's important to us to support that. Now, as much as both of us love the pub, and we do love the pub, we've also loved making our own wines and beers forever. 20 odd years we've been doing that. Our parents did it before us and we've done the same thing. You've probably seen in a recent episode, Natalie was making an oak leaf wine, which is there on the windowsill behind me. And today I'm going to make a beer. Now, it occurred to me that lots of you are thinking, but I don't live in the countryside with things around to make beer. No, You might not, but if you live in a town or city, or if you've got a fucking smartphone, which I know you've got because you're watching this episode, or hopefully you're watching it on the TV because it's a bit better, you have access to the internet, in which case you can buy a kit. Right, so I have here a kit from Woodford's Norfolk beer, and this particular one is an amber ale. It's Wherry. It's a very good beer. I've done this kit before, not for years. In fact, I tell you, talking about the Prince, the last time I did this kit, it was harvest time, and the Prince had just finished cutting, and he rang me and he was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Have you got any beer? Should I come round? And I said, yeah, sure, come round. And I'd literally just finished a batch of this stuff. It was in the pressure container that it settles and finishes in. And the idea was that I was going to have a bunch of the boys around and we were going to sit around and drink it together. Well, the Prince and I got a little bit carried away and we drank all 40 pints in one sitting. Right, well, if you're thinking, but I don't have a barrel case, that counts me out, I can't do it. Right, here's what you do. You go online, you have a look on eBay or Marketplace or whatever else. If you live close to a little town or something and there's charity shops, there's fucking charity shops in every town. Go and have a look, you'll be surprised. As I say, 70s kids, back when we were little, all our parents were doing this stuff. And by the time they got to the 2000s and they'd all got fucking pension plans and all the rest of it, they'd given up and they're giving it away. All this stuff is in charity shops somewhere because boomers all fucking gave up on life and started shopping at Waitrose or something. But if, like us, you're hardcore Gen Xers, we are made of sterner stuff. Get online, get a mug. Now, as I say, I have done this before, but not for a couple of years, so it's not like I can do it blindfolded, so you will be basically learning with me, you know. I'm going to try and do a step-by-step thing, so mistakes and all. Right. Okay, so it's got one of these secure plastic tab things, which I think I've just broken. So, you know, be aware of that. Right, in the bucket of beer, you get a plastic spoon. Spoon to most people. Spoon if you're from the northeast. Apparently, that's for you, Trevor. Ula, get down. Spaniels do not make good beer making companions. You get some sort of plastic tubing. That'll be like a siphon thing. You get what looks like a sterilizing tablet. That's actually really important. You do need that. Hydrometer, I think. Yeah. So good. And the beer. So literally everything you need is in there. And whatever this is. I don't think that's integral. Schoolboy error, I threw the lid down there next to Ula's bed. She's now made a toy of it, which is going to drive me mental for the rest of the morning. Well, good news. It's not actually Woodford's Wherry that I've ordered. It's Admiral's Reserve, which is stronger and a bit tastier in my opinion. So, like Nelson, the Admiral himself, if you drink this, you're a fucking hero. Instructions, first things first. Clean and sterilize all beer making equipment. Stand the cans in hot water for 5 minutes. Okay, no, one thing at a time. Clean and sterilize all beer making equipment. Again, the instructions are written on here. I think from memory it's about 4 tablespoons of this in warm water, maybe it's a gallon, and you put the whole thing in here and you clean it around, because this is what we're going to make the beer in. Okay, so let's do this. That is already so annoying. It is important, by the way, but I'm not going to be measuring everything perfectly, because it's just not how I roll. Take it literally. If it says all beer making equipment, sterilize all beer making equipment. That means these things too. Okay, good. Get your box. Again, just to reiterate, we're not endorsed by Woodford's, although I may talk to them about something actually, because these kits are really good fun. Stand these in, I think it's boiling or very hot, I'll check, it will say on the instructions. Stand them in hot water for 5 minutes. You'll see why. Okay, got my pan of hot water. Stand these in. If you do this, you can't hear anything. That's why we're going to put them in hot water. It's going to loosen it all up. Just want to add, friends, as good as the instructions are, and they are really simple and easy to follow, it's about fun, right? So just stay in for the evening, get your fucking partner, your mate, whatever you want to do. Bake a fucking nice cake and make some beer. Okay, so these things have had 5 minutes in here. Now I need to figure out how this contraption works. Okay, with the cooker lit, I've had the kettle on, which means I now have the boiling water required, because the next stage is to add these to the barrel. You want to get all of it out. All the berry goodness. Oh yeah. Oh, the smell is awesome. Take a few minutes, get everything out the can. You want all the flavour, you want all the strength, you want everything possible in here. I mean, there's instructions, yeah, but you know, be loose, don't worry. It's like cooking. Cooking is an art, man, not science. Right, so you want to stir this in until all that goodness is dissolved, which could take a while. You've got time, we're not going anywhere. It's a fucking war. Yeah, that's starting to look and smell like beer. You want to cover with something clean and then leave it in a fairly regular temperate place, so not too hot, not too cold, and leave it there for 7 to 10 days. Before I forget, on day 4, add this hot powder. But other than that, it just needs time. Just don't mess with it, leave it alone, forget about it, enjoy your life. I will see you in the next one and we'll come back and check on this. Oula.